So soothing. Alright, Citizen Sleeper. It's by the person who made In Other Water, so I'm excited. I'm expecting a good story. It looks like it will be. Of a new sleeper. Oh, so sleeper is a noun in this game. Oh no. Operator. An operator works with drones and high-precision remote machines to perform complex tasks from a distance. Sleepers assigned to operator work are usually cerebral and precise people. I like them already. Alright, so there's 5 skills. Engineer, interface, endure, intuit, and engage. Engineer is work with machines and physical tools. Interface is work with digital interfaces. Endure is use strength or strength of will. Intuit is approach problems with awareness. And engage, approach a problem head on. I like these stats. I like it when the stats are more than just the usual, like, physical and mental stats. Extractors work on resource extraction, often in vacuum environments. Sleepers assigned to extractor work are often confident, self-sufficient, and have a high level of endurance. Oh, there's also an something. Perk. Transfer intercept. Chance to gain cryo on interface actions. Photosynthetic skin. Sunbathe dice action allows energy recovery at home. Oh, just 2. Oh. That's good though. Maybe operator. I was expecting 3. Because those usually games like these like do 3, right? The first thing you become aware of on waking is the disconnect, the delay between thinking and feeling, between wanting to act and acting. Minor, almost imperceptible, but always present. It's at its worst when waking, when yourself has spent many dark hours recalling what it felt like to be real, to be a person, to be in a body that was indisputably yours. Think of that body. A leap into the cold lake on a hot day, the sting of blood welling from a flesh wound, the friction of a fingertip. All of a sudden, the memories are closer than you thought, blurring as you approach, until you can't tell one from the other. Hello, Bella. You're just in time. I literally started. You're like 1 minute in. How was your day? I hope it was chill. The cold slips in behind and around you, and the sensations fade out of reach. Perhaps you should be thankful for the dulled nature of this new body, given your current circumstances. The walls of the container feel immediately present, cold, hard, at your back and face, cramping your limbs. Mizoki, nice. Better than lazy, right? You resist the desire to stretch, knowing that the claustrophobia comes next, and retreat a little from your central nervous system. It isn't painful. Not like you used to know pain, at least. What does that mean? In emergency mode, pain is a message delivered with efficiency and ease. A reminder that harm is imminent. There's no insistent throb, no trembling nerves. Just a warning delivered with the banal quality of a digital notification. Right now, there are thousands of them. You did like one thing, so it was fine? That's fine. I agree. Remember the plan, remember the others. Remember the others? You remember there were 10 of you. 10 that could no longer stand the indentured work, the routines, the slow decay. 10 whose belief in their promised future was slowly dismantled day by day, until they realized they had sold away everything that could and would ever matter. 10 that would escape or at least die trying. I love this writing already. It's like telling a lot while also telling nothing, but like in a very nice sounding way. Some were lost in the shaft, others never found the meeting point. Only a few made it to the containers. But the freighter, as far as you know, left. That feels like enough to know that you might no longer be on that grim and heartless rock. Even if, in the airless hold of a freighter, you might freeze solid long before you reached any destination. Try to rest. But you are restless. It has been a long time since you left. Surely weeks, maybe months. You are duly aware of damage to your legs, your right arm. You have been reserving energy as much as possible, but your body has still needed to shut down many of its systems to protect you. You have spent much of that time asleep, knowing that anything else would be impossible to endure. You feel the weight of that impossibility begin to gather. It is time to sleep again, to nudge this false body into inducing delta waves in your emulated mind, and once again recoil into a dream of when you were once a person. So I'm not a person? Time passes. A cold creeps further in. You feel something. Warmth. Not true warmth, but the indication of its presence. Your joints release from their rigor. Sound too, everywhere, screeching and shimmering so loud that your body ducks to your hearing to protect its sensors. Then light. White as the cold, softer and softer, until in a haze of dirty yellow a figure appears. You are out. Oh. Oh, is this me? Why is it moving by itself? How do I turn? That? What is this? Items. Cryptocurrency stored in air-walled sticks of memory known as chits. Cryo is cryptocurrency. Data? What's happening? Why is it doing that? Is it broken? My controller? What is doing that? Is it because there's no data? Confused. Dragos. Pragmatic salvager. It has been a few hours since Dragos pulled you from the container. I love the art! Look at that! You sit huddled in a corner of his scrapyard, swaddled in the reflective folds of a mylar blanket. You are slowly coming back to consciousness, back to life, and you stare at the ornately curving element of an improvised heater. You are surrounded by angular, incoherent lumps of ships, some corroded beyond recognition. Others still carrying glassy wounds along their edges where a plasma arc sliced them apart. As you trace their shapes with fogged eyes, you hear a voice. So, Sleeper, you all thawed yet? Almost. Never seen one of you come in like this. New frames must have better perseverance in sub-zero vac. Seen more than a few of you frozen solid to hull plates or inside outer locks in my time. They weren't so lucky. Dragos comes into focus, shrouded in makeshift tech, his headset with its glinting eyes the mark of a drone operator. On his shoulder, one of his symbolically linked drones perches. It's irising, locking you with an unflinching stare. Last living sleeper that came through this yard was a while ago. They didn't last long. You struggle to read his expression beneath the tech, but he seems lost in memory for a moment. Or perhaps he's just figuring out what to do with you. I plan to survive. You aren't sure if he heard you. I won't ask what led you to it, to sell yourself to a corporation. And I suppose you know you can't go back. Your old body, that's theirs now, and you're just software. A rogue emulation illegally possessing corporate property. Whoa, so we were a person, but now we're in a cyborg? No. An android, maybe? Because the way they're describing it, we're not human anymore, but we used to be. You nod along. You remember biometrically signing the forms, the cold floor on your feet as you padded to the sleeper cells. The promise of a life off-world. But as you do, you get the now familiar sensation that these aren't your memories. These are things you know, but not things you feel. You're no longer that person. You're in an offshoot, a copy. What you won't know is what's ahead. At least the last one didn't. There's no easy way to put it. That body of yours is falling apart. It's the same for any sleeper who makes it out. SNR wants to protect their property. But if they can't keep a hold of you, well then no one can. You remember that too, or at least rumors of it from other sleepers. Planned obsolescence, a built-in dependence on the regularly administered supplements that were a part of your routine. Stop taking them and your body begins to shut down, separate from your emulated mind. How long has it been? How long do you have? But for now, sleeper, you are one of the lucky ones. Dragos glances up and away towards the glassy dome of the yard. The Eye is the best place you could be right now. The Eye? The station. You'll see it soon enough. Dragos impatiently shifts his weight. Look, I've got things to be getting on with, he trails off. There's an old freight container I've been using as storage out in the stacks. We haven't been pulling in much valuable scrap these days, so you're welcome to it. Something wells up inside of you. Emotion. Fatigue. You shakily get to your feet. Alright, head on up there. You look like you need some rest. And with that, Dragos stalks back into the racks, his drones already converging on a rusting hull. Plasma flashes silhouetting his spindly figure as he returns to work. I can't read. Why did I do this? Welcome to Erlin's Eye. Life on the Eye runs in cycles, during which you can talk to characters, explore areas of the station, and perform actions. At the end of each cycle, you need to head to your current home and to rest. Resting will move time forward on the station. Head to an empty container location to rest and end the cycle now. Ooh, so this is what I look like? And these are my skills. I see. So you can also gain up more things. I see. This is a cool way of doing the character sheet. Chance to gain random scrap. Sunday dice. Also, okay. Predictive receipt. Dice actions display potential. Ooh, I like these. I like the abilities that you can get. So like Intuit is about awareness. So it makes sense that it would display potential positive and negative outcomes of dice actions. That makes sense. Use scrap components at home to repair condition. Agent notes give double data rewards. Keep 2 dice even when condition is breaking. Reroll all of your dice once per cycle. All cryo actions are discounted by 20%. This game is so quiet. Feels like I'm just chilling. You wake curled up in the corner of a container and begin slowly assembling the world around you. After all this time, you still find this body, the one you wake in now, strange and disjointed. Its message is readable but somehow wrong. You sit up, pulling the mylar blanket close against the cold. Here you are on this ruined station, millions of miles from anyone you know. Are you still in the system? Did any of the others make it out? It's impossible to know. After all this, what matters? Building a life? Maybe you did get lucky finding yourself here. Maybe here on the edge of everything there's a life for you to build. But before you can build anything, you'll need to learn to survive. Maybe if you can do that, you can make life for yourself. Dragos has left a few comforts in the container. The mylar blanket, the bedroll you slept on, a canister of water, a makeshift electric stove, and some faded sachets of some desiccated powder. You thumb the power stud of the stove and begin to boil the water. The contents of the sachets smell like damp wood, and you sprinkle them into the liquid. As the pungent smell washes over you, images from your restless sleep come back to you. A ring like the station, but skeletal and ghostly. A web of threads pulling at your skin. A constellation of bright polygonal shapes, like angular suns burning into your mind. There's something unpleasantly visceral about these images, and it is long after you've finished drinking before they begin to fade. You tidy away the stove as best as you can and try to gather enough energy to greet the day. Condition, action dice, and energy. Your condition represents the current state of your artificial body. It depletes one segment each cycle, but it can also be damaged by violence, injury, or lack of food. If your condition bar empties, you will suffer a breakdown. Relate. You'll have to figure out how to recover your condition, now that you no longer have access to corporate pharmaceuticals that were keeping you alive. Action dice. At the start of each cycle, you roll your action dice. These dice can be used to perform actions on the station. Ah! The number of dice rolled is based on your current condition. The worse your condition, the fewer dice you have. Ah. Once you have used your dice and you cannot take any more actions, you must rest to recover them and in the current cycle. Energy. You also need to eat to survive. This is represented by your energy bar. You can refill your energy bar by eating, but first you have to find somewhere to get food. Your energy depletes by 2 segments each cycle. That's a lot. If it becomes empty, you will be starving. When starving, energy loss becomes condition loss, and your condition will also deplete at a double rate per cycle. What? Sounds like a lot. Dragos is standing in the corridor when you close up the container. He is still wearing his headset, and in the harsh light of the corridor you realize it is implanted. A drone sits on his shoulder, its cache of sensor eyes rapidly irising. How are you feeling? Okay. The drone chirps. Good to hear. You notice that beneath the operator's rig, his skin is marked by burns and blotches. I know the container isn't much, but it'll keep you safe. He pauses. So, I'm not going to chit-chat too long. You well enough to work? Sure. Alright then. At the yard is simple stuff. We hack these old hulls down, sell them off to the shipyards or the bright market dealers for cryo. Occasionally we pull out some tech, something with a bit more value, but most of what it comes in is scrap. It's hard to find good hands here, but I figure as a sleeper, you'll be used to the manual labor. And obviously I'll slip you a few chits of commission based on what you turn out. Got it. He shuffles his feet nervously. Look, I wouldn't usually do this. In my opinion, you'd be best suited moving on as quick as you can. And sleepers, well, he trails off. But things being the way that they are for me at the yard, he pauses. I need the help. Happy to. Okay. Thinking of something else to add? He says, look, just come down to the yard when you're feeling fresher. There's plenty to do. You do. He nods distractedly and turns and walks away, and the drone hopping along ahead of him. See you later, he calls back. Looks like it's time to get to work. Is there anything else to go over? I thought we were supposed to roll the dice. Or is that rolled already? Actions are the primary way to interact with the world of Citizen Sleeper. To perform an action, select it with the D-pad and A and choose the action dice to assign. Actions reward with clock progress, energy, condition, or items depending on their outcome. There are 3 types of outcome. Positive, the action goes better than expected. Neutral, the action succeeds. Negative, the action fails. Action dice affect these outcomes as follows. 100% chance positive, 50% chance positive, 50% chance neutral. I see. 25% positive, 20%. Yes, this game is very chill, right? It's very like... Honestly, the sounds of the game is making me sleepy. Like, I can read out loud, but the sounds is so calming that I'm gonna fall asleep. Watch something happen like very sudden, and then I'm like, ah! Ah! I see. So 5 and 6 are like really good. 1 and 2 are really bad. Makes sense. Actions display information about their type, risk level, and skill, and modifiers that apply to that action. Type either critical or repeatable. Critical actions can only be performed once. So like Disco Elysium then. Risk, either safe, risky, or danger. Safe is no loss of condition, energy, or cryo. Risky is a negative outcome. Oh, negative outcome means cryo energy and loss. Danger, negative outcome means condition loss. Neutral outcome can mean... Oh, okay. Oof. The skill that the action requires either engineer, interface, endure, intuit, and engage. EI. Modifier either -1, 0, +1, or +2. This added to the action dice when the slot improves. Okay. Some actions require a +1 to perform. Ooh. Repeatable action. Psychic. A debt called in. Dracos started up something. If he misses a payment or two, things get nicely. Every Sabager knows that others are looking. So I have to choose which one I do. Obviously, I'm doing the engineer one. Because my endure is -1. Oh. Let's use the one here. Let's see what happens. Actions often progress clocks. Clocks are displayed below the actions that fill them and track your actions and how they affect the world. Filling a clock means something good or bad is about to happen. Some clocks, such as the one tracking Dragos' deaths, are cycle clocks. Oh, these clocks tick themselves once each cycle and can complete without player input. Any cycle clocks can be displayed on the icon for that location. Okay. Did I do it right? Okay, neutral outcome. Okay, that's good. So, what's stopping me from just doing this again? Oh. In Citizen Sleeper, you will unlock drives as you discover more about yourself and the world. Drives guide you in pursuing specific objectives, depending on which path you wish to take. You can track drives, and any tracked drive will place a yellow marker locations that will help you pursue your goal. Access your drive menu with L1. You are now free to explore Erlin's Eye and make a life for yourself here. Try tracking a drive to help you survive. Look for food to keep your energy up and a way to recover condition. Fill clocks to progress stories and find new opportunities. Remember to end cycle at your home when you are out of dice. Find a doctor. Repay Dragos, survive. No completed rounds. Let me go back. Yeah. Dragos put up his says bad. Okay. You need access to firearms. Okay. So where can I go? Wow, there's suddenly so much stuff to do. Shipyard, Havenage, construction goods. Rotunda wet dock. Rotunda wet dock. Bustling open market. And what's up there? Why can't I look what's up there? I wanna go there! Can't talk to Dragos. Okay, let's see this rotunda. Steal dock plans. Even agent security has to have plans. Stealing them be the fastest way to get to those places, and the most dangerous. Getting to another rotunda doesn't mean just mean new places. It means keeping eye on new arrivals. Having this run in the security watches the docks, but to avoid attracting their attention. Leading to all kinds of docking ways. I kind of want to steal. Helion Crossing. Merchants willing to run the gauntlet of the Helion system are rare, but okay, so this dock is empty. This dock is also empty. Salvage Sortie. It takes hours to reach Soured Belt and return another scrap for Olex. And then this, the shipyard. Assist a shipbuilder. You don't have connections, but you do have skills. If you can get a shipbuilder to notice them, you might be in. The only way to get to know the shipyard is to work here. No tourist here. I see. As a newcomer, you can only gain favor by grabbing a load of materials and asking the nearest yard hand where to take them. Ask for... Oh, it's a critical... Local knowledge. Right? As busy as smart. You can find anything and everything. Smells and sounds of buzzing activity of the bright market art makes dizzying. Please wander. Okay, let's try asking for directions. Oh, it gave me +3. You end up at a drink stall debating the finer points of the Solheim collapse. You try to remember all the tips your companions offer you. Now what? Oh! This is fun. I like this art. Oh no, this is probably gonna be something that, like, once I finish it, I'm gonna be playing again because I want to see the different ways to do things. Well, I say that, but I still haven't done my replay of Disco Elysium, even though I've always said that I'm going to replay it on stream. Port Exchange. Float hits. Oh, so it's a casino or something. Oh no, it's like a an exchange thing. Okay. Well, we found a doctor. After some spaces cause some trouble in the low end, yet again have imposed a toll for entry. No one gets in without paying 60 cryo, and I already only have 15. We found food, guys. Emphis. Oh, hi, Emphis. Emphis is busy. His broad face uplit by the makeshift gas burner. The art is so nice. It feels like I'm like in like a comic book. Uplit by the makeshift gas burner in front of him. With precise, delicate movements, he lays thick chunks of marinated fungus onto a dented wok. I would love some mushrooms right now. His other hand idly tossing a metal ball of sliced vegetables. In some red flecked dressing. The smell is incredible. You watch as he fulfills a set of orders, keeping the fungus and the bright salad and depositing it in plastic trays. A stack of chits rattles in his apron pocket as customers file past the burner, handing over payment. I also love that the art is like very maximalist, because it makes the game more exciting almost. Reminds you of Citizen Sleeper? Well, I'm playing Citizen Sleeper. Also, hi, Eika. Sure. Let's watch. Despite the queue, Emphis doesn't rush. He dresses each portion individually, squeezing the precise slugs of liquid from an assortment of bottles into a bowl of torn leaves and bright slices before tossing them loosely together. Occasionally, a waiting customer might utter something about efficiency, but Memphis remains steady in his process. Slugs of meat. The way he's describing it sounds delicious. After a while, the queue fades back into the crowd, and Memphis sits down on his metal bowl and looks up across the burner to see you watching him. I can feel your eyes burning a hole in my bowl. Oh, I don't know about that. Free sample? Free sample! You didn't see the title? No worries. No, it's alright. You can come chill here, because I'm feeling very sleepy with how quiet the game is. He gestures neatly. Come over. Oh. The smell is almost unbearably strong as he cooks. The earthiness of the fungus laced with something so spicy the smoke makes your eyes water. The heat from the burner is like bonfire and your skin hardens in its glare. This sounds so good. I want food. I know you, you sleepers, Memphis says while he cooks, his voice deep but clear. A hard life, a lot of stories. He glances up from beneath his cap with piercing eyes. I know. Tell him a story. You begin to tell him about your journey to the eye, and he nods as he cooks, his eyes never leaving his work. You tell him of the confusion, the pain, and also the sense of possibility, and its sudden arrival. You tell him of the cold and dark of the container, and the endless cycles spent within it. Now it seems you tell him like some dream that you once had, but can never forget. You tell him that the eye excites you and scares you, and you are unsure where to walk, where to look, what to do. Eventually you tail off, running out of the words. He places a plastic tray of steaming fungus in your hand. Next time we can talk some more, but next time you pay. Oh. He slams a heavy hand against a button on the burner side and shuts it off. The roar of the flame and the impressive heat fades. Next time then, sleeper. He waves you away and begins to oil the walk. Before you turn back to the alley, you notice the geometric patterns of circular scars across his forearms. I was already looking at that. I was like, what are those, like, scars or tattoos? Now it's scars. Each surrounded with a constellation of glinting pin marks. You walk away, and as you do, take a bite of the rich, spicy, delicately sweet fungus. Your taste sensors light up like a fusion reactor. You'll be back. Okay, let's meet this doctor, Sabine. Next comes the call from the enforcer at the door. You shuffle down the flickering hallway towards the open apartment door. You keep your head down and your shoulders high in the queue, trying not to bring attention to yourself. You were thankful for the tip-off that the doctor was operating out of this place, but now that you are here, you aren't so sure. The gang enforcer on the door, the flickering light strips, and decaying hab block. They have all made the long queue a test of your nerve. But your options are few, and without a supply of stabilizer, this body, your body, will. You suppress a shiver and shuffle toward the front of the queue. You try to find something to distract yourself. Look at the enforcer! The enforcer is looking down the corridor, and you dare to glance at him. His purpose is unmistakable. He is there to intimidate, to threaten, and if necessary, carry out those threats. His broad shoulders are framed with a metal exoskeleton. A couple of mirror-like implants sit below his eyes like mercury teardrops. Ooh. Mirror-like implants. Damn. Subsidiary sense input or aesthetic markers. You aren't sure. You also aren't familiar with the geometric blade-like tattoo on his arm, but you make a note of it. You avert your eyes when he looks back at the queue. After a few moments, a figure pushes through the doorway, and you catch a distant voice. Send the next one in, Toshiro. The enforcer jerks his head as you slip inside, passing through the dark entryway and pushing through the plastic sheeting on the far door. The room beyond is bathed in warm light. A floor-to-ceiling transparent panel gives a full view of the bright market sealed roof and the buzzing traffic above, and for a moment you are transfixed by the motion. Come, sit, calls a sharp voice, and you see a silhouetted figure turn away. That jacket is giving very Blade Runner, replacing the plastic sheeting over the frame of a simple folding bed. You make your way across the room. My gosh, the art is so nice. I love how they did the jacket on top. The figure turns as they do. As they do, you see an expression of confusion flash across their features. They open their mouth as if to speak, they blink, and then quickly regain their composure. Please sit, they gesture to the bed, then turn to an open case of tools on the table. You sit, Sabine turns, a compact diagnostic scanner of some kind in their head. They hold it to their eye. Remain still, please. Their tone is clipped and businesslike. You stare ahead, still dazed from their expression when you first entered. Fear, recognition, sadness unmistakably etched across their face. How long have you been in the station? They ask, a scanner still to their eye. A few cycles. They nod. It's good you came to see me. They send the diagnostic scanner on the table. I'm going to start by assuming you don't know anything. Then they take your arm and roll up your sleeve, inspecting your synthetic skin. Your body is dying. They say it without ceremony, without drama, but not without empathy. SNARP doesn't like to see its proprietary technology let loose to prevent bodies like yours, frames as they call them, from being stolen, repurposed, or in your case, escaping. They built in a process of so-called planned obsolescence. Frames decay rapidly, and when not regularly injected with stabilizer, one which SNARP remains the sole producer of. They look up. Sound familiar? How do you know this? They shift in their seat. You aren't the first sleeper I've encountered. You wait for more, but they go back to their inspection. They swap your other arm, running some thin metal device over your skin. You feel your forearm tremble. I'm sorry, Sabine says, and you are unsure if they mean for the cold touch of the metal or everything else. Emulations like you, sleepers, are, as most people know you, aren't classified as people in any of the surrogate systems. You have no rights, no status. They focus hard on the inspection of your arm, and SNARP has no reason to release stabilizer into the market. Sabine looks up as if to apologize again, but they stop themselves. I know little of this is used to you. They turn away, disassembling the metal instrument and cleaning it. Silence fills the room as Sabine works, and then the silence gives way to tension. You stare at their back, willing them to say something. Anything. Sabine turns to face you. I may be able to help. They sigh, and you see in the darkness under their eyes, hear the fatigue in their voice. They gesture to the door. You saw Toshiro outside? You nod. He works for my benefactor, Yatagan. They are influential in the low end. They give me this space to work, run the door, and take the profits. At the same time, I have to fix up their enforcers, tend to their implants, sew up their wounds. They look away. But Yatagan has connections, smugglers from the Starward Belt, mercenaries working for the corporations on Ember. If they can source the stabilizer, maybe you'll have a better chance. Sabine sets down their notes complete. This is dangerous, and it'll be expensive, but I think we can do it. Why help me? Sabine walks away to the window, their face dappled by the shadows of passing drones. Let's just see if this works first. I'll let you know when I have a lead. You nod and leave. Sabine still staring out, unmoving. When you reach the lower level of the market, you look back up through the panels of the roof to see if you can see their face, but the room looks dark against the lights of the market. You duck your head and walk off into the crowd. Well, good luck to me then. Why is it bleeping? So I need to survive 3 more cycles before Sabine gets those stabilizer thingies. Okay, I've got the dock plans now. Ooh, a bar. Get a drink. Buy rations. Hey you, wanna order a chit? Ankita. Ankita stands beside a huge pile of child-together hull plates. She stretches out her back, her shoulders bulging beneath her flight suit. Sure. You cross the docking concourse as she begins to split the plating into two bundles. What is it with this place? She asks, as she lashes the massive plates together. Everyone wants their cut. She straightens up to an imposing height, her armor plates creaking, and looks to you up and down. Don't try anything, all right? She taps the butt of her sidearm. I don't want to have to put anyone else down today. Anyone else? She shrugs. What can I say? My temper's a little short lately. Ankita hoists one bundle of plating onto her shoulder. Come on then, enough chat. You've got to earn that chit. Chit chat? You struggle to shoulder the plates, but you do eventually. Ankita gives you a look. Ship's this way. And she sets off down a gantry at impressive speed. As you catch up to her, she turns down a passage, pushing through a small crowd of stevedores? What's all this for? All this? She nods at the plates on her back. I'm building a treehouse. She gives you another of her looks. It's for the ambergris. That cutter you might have seen sitting silent out there. She rapidly turns another corner as you trail behind. She got cut up pretty bad on our latest job and I had to moor up here for a spell. But since then, it's only gotten worse. Someone got in and sliced the core from a ship mine. So now she's gone dark. She shifts the panels on her shoulder. The upshot is that I'm short one ship mine, with a ton of repairs to do, and the rest of the crew signed off the moment they got wind I'd be stranded. So yeah, it's been a time. Anything I can do to help? I don't know. Got a ship mine tucked away in that frame of yours? For a moment, you aren't sure if she's serious. Ankita swings the plates from her back, almost knocking you over in the process. This is me. She holds the second bundle of your shoulder. You're the first person I met here who might actually be considered helpful. She pauses, chewing her butter lid. Look, you want to help? Come see me. I need a hand putting Amber back together. You don't seem like the type to try anything stupid. She passes the bundles of plates through the ambergris outer lock and turns back. Just don't go spreading all this around. Ankita throws you a couple of chits. Consider it a bonus for not trying to grift me. She gives you a parting nod and ducks through the doorway. All right, get out of here. She calls back and the lock slams shut. That's just 2 chits. That's not even enough for food. Oh, unlock Madlock. But I need a key. Maybe I should work. Yeah. I think that's it. I went here already, right? Yeah. Somehow, so many suggestions. I have so many drives. This time you don't wake up. Instead, the ghost of the station, that shifting skeletal ring, surrounds you. For a moment you are gone, absent from your own body, stretched out across a colorless void. Then the connections begin to establish themselves, threads tugging on the edge of your mind. These threads become vectors of exchange and then extensions as you feel your thoughts slipping away down them, dissolving into the millions of distributed nodes they connect to. You see the station. No. You feel the station like a web of texture in the smooth black wood. Touch it! You find a point in the station and you connect to it. Pulse through it, follow loops and paths under and around it. You touch more points than you have fingers, and then you try, in a moment of impulsiveness, to connect them. The flow passes through you so rapidly that you feel yourself being carried with it, splitting and separating, eddying and gathering. As you do, things occur to you, things that you can't possibly know. You reach out, try to grasp them, and try to touch too. You notice a tugging feeling pulling at you, instantly as if it were a small child. Somehow it is pulling in two directions at once. You look down. All of a sudden, everything shuts off. You come back, trembling into this unfamiliar body, both yours and not yours all at once. You find yourself standing in the corner, eyes now open to the dark steel walls. You feel a change within you, a shift. You close your eyes for a second and you feel it waiting there. The station splayed out across your mind, a storm of connective nodes waiting to be explored. And then it is gone. No! My rolls are shit! I can't work in these conditions. Okay, let's help again. Yes! Maybe I'm just lucky. Somehow everything's working out. Are you doing your bread? Or is it a different drawing? Oh, we can help her already. Complete repair drones and storage. I see. I could help her now. But I also need to eat. Bread. So Sabine's not done yet, right? Needs 3 cycles. Here's the art exchange. But I need to play. Okay, let's eat first. Oh, it's +3 energy. That's nice. And Emphis likes it. Okay, maybe I can help with the ambergris. Ambergris is a whale thing, right? And I have +1 to interface anyways. Yeah. No! Boo! It's okay. Not too bad, but it made me very hungry. So I might have to eat again. Maybe I'll make more money again. Okay. eat again. Emphas is gonna love it. I ate twice today. Okay, that's two. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in, Jack Jennings. 30% off. No. Welcome in. See if I want to do something else. I don't have any data. Okay, I need unlock for that one. Oh, maybe I should buy some rations sometime. Okay, that's it for this cycle. Again, the skeletal ring of the station fills your mind. It sparkles with glittering lights like stars reflected in a winter lake. It is clearer, crisper than before. The threads still pull, but you remain in place, flickering in the flow. Between the threads, you see bright shapes, catches of shimmering light beneath transparent crystal forms. You follow the path of a thread across the ring. Through these forms, then leap off into the void. You begin to understand. These are the nodes and connections, a map of information, of communication. There's so many layers, so many loops that it seems almost impossible to parse. But you begin to try. Focus on the nodes. The nodes are glassy, bright, but in all this flow, the only solid and fixed points. You approach one, a pyramid or a triangle, dimensions are difficult here, and lean close to it. Inside, shifting layers conceal a tangle of threads, a meeting point of exchange. But before you can glimpse any further, the glass clouds and hardens, cutting you off. The threads and nodes, passages and puzzle boxes, one leads to another. There's so much here, so many answers, so many questions. All you need to do now is follow the paths and open the boxes. You look out across this ghost landscape of exchange and see an opportunity. But then that insistent tugging again, pulling at you. You look down again and see two lines, two threads pulling in different directions, as if they were tied to you. The first thread leads out, away from the station into the inky black. Someone out there is tracking you, hunting you, following the thread to you. They are in a ship, and the ship is approaching ever closer with each cycle. Oh shit. The second thread leads in, pulling deep into the station. Your gaze follows it, and this time you see something. A sphere shimmering above a strange angular body. A pulse shoots out from it, passing over you like a torch beam. Testing you. Tasting you. You open your eyes. Time is short. That's what I got too. Hunted. Someone out there is tracking you, following your trail. It won't be long before they arrive. Great. Something has changed inside you. You can now access the data cloud of the Eye, a network of decaying protocols and data caches. While there, you can use dice and items to access items and extract systems and extract data. But be careful, these networks are old and strange. Press Y to toggle view on and off. Oh. Okay. Ugh. We should eat. Your mouth sings as your sensorium sends warning signals over and over. This is good stuff. Addicted to mushrooms. Oh yes, I can also do this. I do have a 5. The flow of Chitsu components exchange is complex but sharp. Right. Let's try putting a 5 here. Oh, only neutral. You lose a little, then claw it back when a stack of sealed air filters. Better step away while you are in the black. Boo, I wasted my die on that. Data actions allow you to extract data from the networks of the eye. They work like dice actions, but in order to unlock them, you must match your dice to the one displayed on the right action. Ah. On the right of the action. If you have a +1 and +2 modifier, you will be given more possible dice to match. You can use any dice that matches the dice display. Once unlocked, the data can be extracted. Maybe I should unlock the 3 then. Just to see what happens. Encrypted key. Able to unlock the stage in Maglocks. Ooh, so can I open this now? Oh, I do have an encrypted key. Ah, so just one more. I see. And the game kind of wants me to do it before this leaves. Whatever that is. Okay. These are shitty rolls. As you close up, a voice echoes down the corridor towards you. Sleeper, wake up! Wait up! Turn. Fang is coming down the corridor towards you, a wonky grin in his broad face. Hey, glad I caught you. Do I know you? He grins. You do now. He puts a hand on your arm. I've seen you hanging around, just wanted to chat. You staying in that thing? He nods back to the containers, shaking his head. Rough. It can be hard to get a start on the eye. He looks away down the passage. What was it old Erlin said? The eye opens for us all. Nice idea, but well, not always very practical. He glances back at you. We do our best, but it isn't easy. We? You pass together into the main walkway. Haven H. We are all one dysfunctional family. Fang puts an arm around you. I'm not part of the security badge, though. Don't worry. I'm at Systems. Systems? Everything the eye runs on. He runs a hand along the passage wall. This place is a ruin, but Systems keeps it spinning somehow. At least, we try to. He stops you in the quiet passage. Look, that's not what I'm here to discuss. I saw you around and, well, I know a little about you sleepers. I have a proposition for you. He glances around, but this is not the place for it. I have an office just across the way. Give me a cycle or two to prepare, and when you are settled, stop by. He lowers his voice and gives you a dark look. In truth, I need you. If what they say is true about you sleepers, well, there's work to be done. He pats you on the back, his voice bright and his dark look suddenly gone. Stay clean, sleeper. He walks off down the passage, raising a hand in farewell. Okay. The first thing you see on entering is the glint of Toshira's implants, like a cat's eyes, in the dark of the corridor. He nods you in as you arrive at Sabine's door. The entryway is still dark, and you push through the sheeting into the surgery. I have it. Sabine stands with the case open in front of them. A set of vials lined up inside, separated by foam inserts. They pick one up, rotating it in the warm light. I have no idea how yet again. They trail off. We should treat this with caution. It looks authentic, but I have no idea if it really is what it appears to be. I'm the test case? That seems to be the case. Unfortunately, I'm not sure we have another choice. I gesture you to sit on the bed. The stabilizer works under a similar principle to an immunosuppressant in a transplant operation, in that it stops your body from rejecting the unfamiliar past part of yourself. In the case of your frame, the unfamiliar part is each of your biosynthetic organ groups, which over time are identified by your body as foreign material and therefore must be eliminated. Sabine holds up a vial of the would-be stabilizer. However, unlike an immunosuppressant, the stabilizer doesn't do this by limiting your entire immune system. Instead, it re-encodes your biosynthetic organs with new protein chains which act as passcodes within your immune system. The stabilizer refreshes those passcodes, keeping your frame from rejecting all of its organs. Which means the stabilizer should be able to encode any organic or biosynthetic matter to be accepted by your immune system. They glance away. At least if the stabilizer is genuine, the only way to know for sure is to inject the vial. They begin readying the syringe. I will start with a small dose to limit the risk. Okay, let's do it. Sabine cracks the glass neck of the stabilizer vial and uses a syringe to extract a fraction of the liquid. They tap the syringe and you watch as if any sign might emerge from the clear liquid. You barely feel the needle, your frame registering the initial injection but with little response. A sensation begins to spread from the site, a fizzling, trembling wave that disperses through your arm with incredible speed. Your vision goes white, and when it returns, Sabine appears encased in shards of sparkling light that slowly fade into darkness as you settle back against the bed. You swim in darkness, muffled noises, like an argument heard from underwater, prickling waves of cold. When you sit back up, Sabine is sitting in a chair by the window, facing away from you, backlit by the glow of their slate. Awake? What happened? The stabilizer is genuine. They sit down beside the bed. I don't know how Yatagan acquired a case of the stuff, but they did. Sabine looks troubled, distracted. You should rest some more, but you are going to have to do that somewhere else. They gesture to the door. I have other patients. Sorry. Sabine nods towards the case. I'm afraid I can't offer you any more doses. You're going to need to pay for your next dose. Silence fills the room and they return to their glowing slate. Looking around the room, it seems different somehow, as if things have moved or shifted. You wonder how long have you been out? Sabine? Nothing comes free, sleeper. Remember that. You manage to get to your feet and wander out into the hallway. The queue stretches down the flickering corridor. Toshira stands impatiently by the door and fixes you with a glare as you leave. Do you lower your eyes as you stumble past, somehow faintly aware the station spinning beneath you? Ooh, it's full. I'll have 5 dice next turn. More fungus. Is that it? Sleeper, Amphis calls out to you, a booming voice that echoes through the corridor. Tell me a story. He throws a handful of chopped mushrooms into a wok, the fire leaping up to meet his oil. I see you cycle in and cycle out, but we never speak. Tell me a story. What kind? Any kind. He pauses to drizzle something from a plastic bottle into the wok. But one of yours? He looks up at you. Nothing stolen. You pause, the spices reach in your nostrils, and you think about the kind of story you'd like to tell Amphis. You look at Amphis, the listener, and imagine he has heard it all before. Perhaps he would enjoy a strange story, perhaps with some spice. Tell him about your dreams. All the sleepers, you tell Emphas, had dreams. Some were simple memories, some were simple. Memories left over from the emulation process that had become tangled up in their minds and would come out when they slept. It wasn't rare to hear a sleeper in the dorm scream or cry out in the night. But your dreams, those gray skeletal after-images of systems and structures, of threads and patterns, weren't like the others. They weren't memories or nightmares, they were reflections of reality. Distorted, yes, but somehow true. You learned back then to keep your quiet about them, to let them flow through your mind like water. That was until now, until you arrived at this place. Now your dreams colonize your waking life. They slip behind your eyelids with every blink. And now you understand they aren't dreams at all. That's some process of interfacing, of speaking, of living in another world that flows through this one like smoke through air. You tell him that you do not know if there is a reason for your dreams. Perhaps you reason it is just some side effect, or particular quality of frame you inhabit. But whatever it is a gift, and you hope to make use of it. Emphas finishes cooking and squints a little at you. Sleeper? He smiles. You are quite the storyteller. He eyes you, and you realize that he's trying to gauge how honest you have been in your story. Emphas passes you a meal he cooked, and you take it gratefully. As you eat, he talks, a natural exchange. Thank you, Sleeper. He looks around the emptying market. But my time is done for today, and I do not want to keep you longer, so I will make a proposal. He gestures to the plastic boxes of ingredients stacked behind his stall. These are good enough for most, but someone told me a story that made me think a couple of cycles ago. They said that across the gap in the greenway, fresh mushrooms grow. Have you heard this? Oh, neither had I. But I trust the one who told me. Emphas begins packing up his things. Can you bring me some? I cannot cross the gap, and I worry about leaving my things behind. He smiles. I'm sure a storyteller like you could handle the trip. I'll prepare them for you, and if you wish to be the audience for another story. Agreed? Good, booms Emphas. Then I will wait for you to bring them. Emphas slides his walk away and straightens up. I'll prepare a recipe then, Sleeper. Good luck with your foraging. You turn away and walk back to the main market, the rich taste of Emphas's food still lingering in your mouth. Stories for food, you think, a trade that seems more than fair. Yay! As you drift back from the node, something latches onto you. A thread, strung tight around you, tethers you in its place. A taste. The voice makes you shiver. Its source somehow both distant and close behind your ear. You see a distant glint of light shut off, and then suddenly a shape is at your side. It stalks around you, circling like a shark, like a wolf. Entity unknown, astringent, processing. Resist. No, stay still. Please hold. Oh. The thread around you thickens until it is a ring, a cylinder, a tunnel of light circled around you. It is a blinding for a moment, and then it is gone. As it fades, you see a figure, a creature in front of you. Its strange head flickers between different angles, reading you. What are you? The shape paces around you on lithe legs, though there is no ground here to pace on. Entity, identify, origin, serial, cadence. The figure faces you expectantly. Stay silent. Refusal. The stranger's head rotates. Brackish creature, of and not of, attempting interface. As the figure speaks, more hun threads begin to spiral from its head. Thick, snaking, vine-like ribbons that flex and wave. They approach with intent. Run! You kick off and glide away through the cloud. The threads surging after you like predatory tentacles. They follow, wrapping the space around you until you are held within a web, a tangle of tentacles closing in. Stop. Your hunter halts in threads, his head twitching. Entity, your identity is unknown. We only seek to correct legalities. Can you confirm your legal right to sentence? Sentience. I'm a person. Incorrect. You are an entity. All at once, Hunter's head is directly in front of yours, blocking your vision. You stink of their taste. The one from the sealed dock. Hunter shimmers with fury. I will find access. I will find interface. Sealed dock? An entity hides in the rotunda. You are its puppet. Hunter extends a razor edge thread. I will not be diverted from my task. It glows with murderous intent. Strike. You lash out with all of your force, not a physical strike, but a focusing, uh, focusing. A spike of interference leaping out the tip of the spear. Hunter stumbles, shifts, and separates. You open your eyes, blinking back into the station, lights shaking with fear. Good thing I didn't get hurt. That was what I was afraid of. Neovend. That's such a cute vending machine. As you slip inside the sealed dock, a pulsing light grabs your attention. Among the discarded tubing, rusted plates, a machine flickers with warm glow. Approach the machine. As you get closer, you recognize the machine's blocky shape. Settled into an alcove in the side of the dock, a kind of upright cabinet. It is covered in faded logos and messages, from which you assume it was once an industrial vendor, intended to dispense and manufacture ship fittings and other mechanical parts necessary for the regular running of freight and resource extraction vessels. The manufacturer is listed as Neovan, and you remember an advert from long ago, squeezed among all the off-world recruitment drives that assaulted every planet-born citizen, which cheerfully sang that name over and over. You wipe a layer of dust from the cracked screen, thinking of those contractors squeezed by their own corporate employers to pay for every bit of minor maintenance on their rented ships. Enter your registration, chirps a pre-recorded message, catching you off guard. Press some keys. You reach for the keypad and something begins whirring. At first, it sounds like the servo motor starting up, but it quickly becomes a whisper, a whining, then a multitonal voice that emanates from Neoven. Entity, speak with me. Who's there? There is a squeal, almost like some strange mechanical swallowing or intake of breath, before the machine speaks again. I have need of you. You have need of me. That squeal comes again, and you see that it's the 3D printing apparatus in the upper part of the machine resetting into place, so that each time the servos can be orchestrated to produce that whirring, whining voice. You are in danger. Danger? The machine creaks. You are marked for the deletion, entity. Hunter tracks you. The screech rattles through the empty deck. You remember the strange head, the figure, the threads closing in. Hunter? The Hunter Protocol. They taste your signature. A sudden whine sends your teeth on edge. You have seen them. It is the gift of an emulated mind. You close your eyes and the skeleton of the station starts to thrum. Emulated minds are adaptable. Move where neurons not. Cannot. The mechanism resets, but emulation makes you target. How? Hunter searches for illegal entities. Neovan screeches. You are sentient, therefore illegal. The servos judder the vending machine's casing as they reset. Hunter searches for me also. Hide in this machine. You look at the ruined vending machine, an unusual hiding place for sure. Can counter Hunter, but need entity outside machine. The lights flickers. Need you. A screen attached to the vending machine with a swiveling arm comes to life. It displays a flickering map of the station, ghostly, threaded. The cloud points along the rim glow of deep red. Hunter is always gathering. Too much data. Must build nest, explains Neovan. Masters are gone but continues hunt. Bring this data. Raid its nest. Why can't you? Hunter will find me, then Killer will come. The machine trembles with comfort. I cannot leave machine. Connections must remain closed. Bring offering, save self, Neovan says pointedly. Mutual need means friends. They conclude, tired of the conversation. The whirring amplifies and then suddenly drops, as mechanisms within the machine click back into place. The glow fades, and you are left stood in the dark of sealed dock, that whirring voice ringing in your ears. Let's try this one. Oh, only +5 crime. That's not a lot. Yay, 5 dice. What's this? Oh, Fang. Sleeper. Fang catches your attention as you approach the Heaven Age building, leaning against the bay door to the side of the entrance. You approach. Easier to come in this way. Security, all that. He gives you a look. You know. He slams a button and the bay cracks open, blinking lights in the dark behind you. You follow Fang inside. Truth be told, I don't spend much time upstairs. This is where I work, the door hisses as it closes behind you. The bay is filled with pieces of hardware, all rigged up to generators and diagnostic slates and things you don't recognize that glow with blue screen light. There is a chorus of hums that blends into a single wave of static, filling the dark corners of the room. Fang leans on the server stack and gestures around. You like it? It's incredible. He smiles widely. I thought you'd say that. Stop flirting with me, Fang! He taps a nearby server stack which bleeps in response. This is my treasure trove, all dredged up from the sea of systems we call the Eye. You wouldn't believe what this place runs on. He steps over a towering block speckled with vents. Some of these systems are from the original station, AE-1, the one Solheim built. We've had to invent new components, repair things we never built, reverse engineer entire subsystems into existence. Residents here look up at the Eye and think they are seeing a concrete reality. But this place is a system in constant flux, decaying and growing, collapsing into new configurations. He walks down between the hardware stacks and you follow. We are keeping this place alive, but also remaking it into something new, dragging it away from those corporate origins. He stops. At least that's what I'm trying to do. He turns back to face you among the flickering machines humming all around you. I know you can see this too, Sleeper. All these systems and sections. You can, can't you? I can see it. It makes sense, right? You are between here and there, between the people and their systems. You light this place up like a beacon. That's what I need. You glance at the lights around you and you do seem to... And as you do, they seem to flicker, to realign, to follow your gaze. Fang notices it too. I'm guessing being a beacon isn't always ideal when you're on the run though. They're tracking me. He pats you on the shoulder. Maybe I can help with that. There's a lot of old growth in this place. Subsystems I can't see, access protocols lost to time and decay, secrets, a shitload of secrets. With your help, I can unlock this place. Break off with those last ghost lives of corporate control. He lowers his voice below the hum. Even in Haven Age there is old growth. Those whose roots trace back into those bad old days. You helped me dredge up the past and I'll see what I can do about that tracker of yours. He winks. What do you say, Sleeper? I'm in. Fang pops his fist and claps you on the shoulder. He meets your eye. You won't regret it, Sleeper. Fang passes you a ragged-looking metal tab. A gift. It's a Solheim cipher. I dug it up from the depths of the station. Slot that into an old network gate and you'll be able to pull out all kinds of secrets from the nodes inside. He walks back to the front of the bay. Start by bringing me whatever you can turn up. Use that emulated mind of yours and see what's out there. Let's get a picture of how things are. Those above, he nods at the ceiling, have granted me an acquisitions budget. I can pay you for whatever useful data you bring in. I know you need it. He slams the door button again. Keep it quiet and keep it clean, sleeper. I'll see you soon. You step, blinking, back out into the passage, those flickering lights still in the back of your mind. Okay. Look at how many drives I now have. I'm like overwhelmed at the amount of drives. With a squawk of noise, the old gate flips open, granting access. What's that? Oh. Okay. This node is leaking corrupted contractor lists from the early days of the system's palladium rush. Let's help Dragos first. It's almost done. Oh my gosh, he pays me 15 cryo. That's good. We'll buy some scrap. 20 though. Let's try this. Yes. Handling the hull plates and shattered structure 6 work, but keep your head down and before long the shift is down. And what did I get? Hi Ina, how you doing? What's Dada's disco? At bakit ka na addict? And what have you done to yourself? How much is this? 100 cryo! I don't have that type of money. This game is interesting because it gives you so many options, but you don't have a lot. Ah, beat 'em up. That's rhythm. Only one? I have to help her so much. Ooh. I'll check it out. I do have, like, on the list of games after this, I do have Melatonin. Have you played that? This is for chits, right? Hindi, mauuna na ako sa'yo. I don't want to waste the 5 on this. Maybe I can use it on this. Oh no. Needs a 4 or a 2. Okay. Can't even use the 5 even if I wanted to. So where do I want to use that? Maybe I could just help him. But it's almost done anyway. Oh, it's done. You arrive into a buzz of activity at the yard. Red blinking lights flash across the vast dark shapes suspended below the dome. They flicker across scroached hull plates and bent structures spilling from holes in the twisted shape. The cutter is huge and has been torn apart in some violent encounter. She's a beauty, isn't she? Drago stands to the side, focused on the hulking ship as it is lowered into the yard. She is. I should thank you. This place was in its last legs when you turned up, and now look at this. The ship descends slowly, its interior visible through multiple hull breaches. You struggle to gather the same enthusiasm as Dragos for this monstrous craft. You can't help but think what became of its crew. What happened? What do you mean? He glances at you. I managed to convince our Savager friends to give it to me on credit. That's what happened. No, what happened to the ship? Not my concern, he shrugs. The ship creaks like a calving iceberg. As it reaches the base of the yard, Dragos is invisibly excited. I know I said you shouldn't stick around, but I'm gonna need some help with this one. The drones start to crawl over the hulk, their lights illuminating flashes of dented hull. Watching, you wonder if you arrived in a similar fashion, locked inside that container. The wreck of the SNR freighter lowered into the yard like a corpse ready to be butchered? Or was it a container delivered to Dragos on its own, a womb for your rebirth into this strange station? You shudder. Perhaps if you could learn something about this ship, you might be able to trace the path that led you into this yard. Dragus squeezes your shoulder. After these past cycles, I think we are up to it. What do you think? You see the fading name of the ship emblazoned on its side. Winter Light. Let's do it. He claps you on the back. Glad to hear it. Come back in a few, we can make a start. A real beauty, Dragus repeats. Perhaps just himself. You take one last look at the shattered ship as the drones start cutting and then slip out of the yard, feeling suddenly cold in the empty passage. Ooh, I got an achievement. Oh! Character and upgrades. You've completed your first drive. Each drive completed unlocks an upgrade point to spend on upgrading your character. Access your character sheet with R1. Okay. It wouldn't click earlier, that's weird. Okay, what do it? Part of me wants to upgrade Endure, but part of me also thinks maybe I should just upgrade something that I would like to happen. Intuit would be nice, but I think Engineer also is nice. Ooh, Thrill Seeker. These are so... I think I'll do Efficient Extractor. I'll regret it later. Okay, this game is cool. Because, like, there's so much to do. So, a lot of your choices really matters. Like, you really have to think about what you want to do next and stuff. So the game basically is telling you to really focus on doing missions so that you can get more stuff. Because if you don't finish missions, if you don't complete drives, you're never going to be able to upgrade. Let's see what happens if I buy rations. Oh, it's energy. Oh yeah, yes, I got that. So it's 2 energy. So maybe it's good to come back here sometimes. Well, let's see what happens when I buy a drink. It's only 6. It gives +1 energy. Okay, that's good to know. So I know which areas gives +1, +2, and +3 energy. I may have wasted 6, but that's fine. Oh, my dice are so nice. I like it. See if I can do this as well. A 4. Yeah, I have a 4. Okay, let's give both to Fang. I think I like Fang. It's very cute. As you enter the bay, Feng is nowhere to be seen. The banks of servers and machines blink out of the dark in staccato rhythms, unseeing eyes of the station's digital ghosts. It's so interesting that when the character doesn't have a lot of stuff on them, the art has the character like leaning on something or standing on something. That's that's an interesting way to make it like very complete looking, the art. Shitheads! Feng's voice echoes from behind the stack, followed by a hammer of a fist on the metal casing. These snaky shitheads. Who's snaky? Sleeper! Feng's smiling head pops out from behind the stack. Just the emulated consciousness I've been eager to see. Come back here. You pick your way between the thrumming stacks, trying not to trip on the loose bundles of cables that blanket the dark floor. Feng is sat in front of a set of monitors mounted to a stack. Tell me, Sleeper, what do you see here? Feng waves at a monitor to his side, glowing with pale lists of information. You lean in closer, looking for the links in the data. The tables seem to be filled with personal information, names, genders, dates, ID numbers, all of the markers of institutional records. Shitheads? Feng laughs. Maybe not all of them. But what kind of shitheads? Solheim? Bingo. He taps the terminal. I pulled these up from the old data you brought in. All employees of the Eye's original owners, and he leans past you and scrolls the list down. This one. This is a snaky shithead. He stabs at the screen with his finger. The name reads Hardin Hurst. Friend of yours? Feng gives you a sideways look. Funny you should say that, Sleeper. He drags a stool out of beside him and motions for you to sit. There just so happens to be a Hardin Hurst in Havenage. He waits for your reaction. In Havenage? That's it. He's right here in the station now. Feng leans back in his chair. Just think about it. 10 decades ago, Hardin worked on the station as a... Feng leans across to look at the monitor. Senior Strategic Operations Executive. Feng raises his eyebrows at you. Our Hardin was keeping the money coming from Solheim, for Solheim. He defined priority growth initiatives by making sure the extractors they contracted out to were hooked into a system that outsourced all the risk and kept the profit. Embezzlement! Good old Hardin shuttled thousands of Palladium Rush workers into an infrastructure which meant that their cut of the work they did went straight to Solheim. How do you know this? I grew up here, Sleeper. This is my history. I'm a child of the collapse. Feng turns back to his screen, staring hard at the strings of code flickering by. Before I was born, my parents were Solheim contractors. They ate in Solheim canteens, worked on Solheim ships, they breathed Solheim air, and slept in Solheim beds. Feng's voice rises as he speaks, his hands fists on the terminal edge. And the work that paid for that existence? The cycles of hard extraction out in the belt? Solheim took their cut. This was a company town, so to speak, and my parents were just another in the long line of freelance contractors willing to risk their lives for a shot at anything other than poverty. Disposable. This guy, stabbing at Hardin once again with his finger, strategized all that, did the sums, and then somehow, thousands and thousands of cycles later, is still going, still here, crawling in the walls like some shithead snake. He survived the revolution. But how? These guys, they were big time. There's a lot money can get you if you're a company man. Feng relaxes a little. But how is Hardin still kicking? I really don't know. He turns to you and smiles, so we are going to go and find out. Hardin is now a big shot in the shipyards, just a few degrees back around the eye from here. Feng brings up a map of the lower eye. Havenage might be born out of Elrond's revolutionary zeal, but a flat hierarchy it is not. Hardin happened to float to the top. Feng zooms in on the far yards. Feng grimaces. The thing is, I don't have access to those systems. The shipyard crew is pretty paranoid and they don't like anyone from systems digging around in their stuff. Plus, we need more than just the name of a Solheim executive. We need proof. Feng holds up a thumbnail-sized drive. That's where this little creation of mine comes in. I call it a ripper worm. He turns the drive between his fingers. It'll rip through any digital storage and spin out a silken thread of filtered data. This one is set on the scent of Hardin Hurst. He hands it over. Getting into the compound might be tricky. Feng puts a hand on your shoulder. But you, however, have a particular knack for remote access. Feng grins. If you can extract yourself a Haven Age cipher from a Haven Age agent, oh my god, why is Haven Age hard to read? They sometimes carry them among their data caches. You can crack open the compound's network and slot the worm in through any port. You never even need to go near the shipyards. So what do you say, up for it? Yes. I knew it. I knew you'd be happy to catch this snake. And don't worry, once we nail this guy, I'll start working on that tracker of yours. I haven't forgotten. Frank scratches at his chin. Anything the warp gets, it'll send it right back here to me. There's something wrong here, and I aim to get the rotten core of it. You leave Fang digging through the data among the wires and machines of the old station. As you walk out, you try to imagine the Eye as it once was. A vast machine running smooth and strong, directed by people like Hardin. A vast Solheim-built machine into which thousands poured into the surrogate systems looking for a new life. The hope of a better future, engineered to line in someone else's pockets. It's an idea you are intimately familiar with. You think of Hardin, still alive, still part of this place, and wonder if the past is ever truly past. You like the art, right? The art is so good. Even the 3D art of the ship looks really nice. And the UI. I like that the dots of the dice don't look like traditional dice as well. Did you see Sabine? You should see Sabine. I think you'll like what they look like. But I can't show you Sabine apparently. Okay, maybe we can... Fuck. Maybe we can extract Hunter data for Neovend. I don't know what to do... How to do the else one. One or three, I don't have those. One or two, I don't have those. 2 or 3, I don't have those. Oh no, I don't have the numbers. Oh well, I can't do that then. I'll just have to do everything else. Okay, maybe we should help... What's her face? Forgot her name already. Ankita. There we go. Random scrap item. Twelve cryo. I'll do that last. Okay, let me help her again then. Wait, what can I do again with Dragos? Oh, okay. Maybe I should help him sometimes. Intuit. Let me try. Yay! And scrap. Oh, but it's a different type of scrap. What type of scrap is this? Ship mine fragment. Could be reassembled with the right tools and a few more fragments. Oh. Okay. Should I roll the dice again? But it's so scary because it's risky. Maybe I should help people. Let me help the hamburgers again. Okay. And I found scrap. That actually is good, because now I can sell the scrap that I get from the ambergris. Ooh, and I become a trusted trader as well. I see how this game can be replayable then. Because when you play the game over and over, you're gonna know what ways to work it so that you can get more shit. I should do that next cycle, just in case. I like games like this. Because it's... I like when visual novels do a thing where it still feels like, you know, like an RPG. That's why I like games like this. Okay, let's do a hunter nest. Can we give it to Neovan? Okay, let's see what happens if I go to the low end gate. Oh my gosh. Okay. I didn't expect it to be this huge. Low end, ramshackle residential district. Block maintenance. Maintained by the residents. Ramshackle blocks are always in need of repairs. Helping out is a good way to make friends. Hey Tavla, the clack of your filter caps can be heard in every concourse in the low end. As the residents play rotating rounds of this game for cryo. You know, Ina, this game is really written well. I don't know if you're hearing me read the narration and the dialogue. I feel like I'm reading a book with how good the writing is. And this is all written by one person. Because one person made this game. A tangled network of service passages and makeshift tunnels cut through the smoke as if it were a hive. There are no maps here. Blistered by the precarious elevators and stairways, the smoke can be navigated from the outside, but the climb requires bravery. What's this? Pay for passage. To reach the Greenway, you need to pay for a pass. A practice invented by the... Oh, okay. So this is just a way to gain more access. Okay, let's see. I have 5s and 6s. I should really roll that for something. With Ankita's help, you systematically isolate, remove, repair, and reseal the hull plates. Amber looks better and better by the hour. Ankita is crouched in the corrupting core of the ambergris, swearing to herself when you enter. She doesn't look up. This shit's completely ruined the core's connectors when they cut it. She holds up a thick fistful of ragged wires. The ship mine they ripped won't be usable without replacing these. She throws a bundle of wires across the room. Amateurs. Who took it? She stands. If I knew, do you think I'd be waiting around here rather than out there with a boot on their neck? Yet again, some spacer crew. No way to know. But they got in with one of my crew's access chips, so they either killed him, robbed him, or he was in on it. No good options. Ankita climbs out of the cooling well where the ship mine should be. The space suddenly crowded with her on the same level as you, towering over you as she stoops beneath the low curved ceiling. Come on, nothing to be done here now. She leads you back through the guts of the amber. Though you could find a way back yourself, the repair process has left you familiar with the cutter's idiosyncratic layout, all diagonal angles and bundled tubes. What do we do now? Ankita seems lost in thought, and you focus on the corridors, ducking below conduits and passing through bulkheads. Eventually you arrive in the galley, though it's hard to tell. Most of the benches and prep surfaces are covered in half-stripped components and welded hull patches. Ankita shoves a box of filters to the floor and sits. There's no way around it. She starts out of nowhere. We need a new ship mine. Where from? Scrap freighter? Ort exchange? Hell, find one in the overlooked bathroom. Doesn't matter where. Just matters that we get one. She rubs her forehead. Seems I'm about to do something very stupid, but hey, I came here, didn't I? Why not make a run of it? She fixes you with a hard stare. Sleeper, you're all I've got. No crew, no friends, you're it. She looks uncomfortable. I appreciate the time you put in on Amber, and I'm sure she would too if she could. What I'm saying is that if you screw me on this, I will kill you. She leans over and hands you a stack of chits. A big stack of chits. You don't dare to count them. Get me that ship mine, Sleeper. Don't make me regret this. But, look, just get out of here before I change my mind. You slip out of the galley and head back towards the main lock. As you do, Amber growls and creaks like a caged animal. You reach a hand out to calm her. Time to find Ankita a ship mine. Somehow. I like that even the narration is like, I don't know how you're gonna do it, dude. Let's see what happens if I help here, how much the pay is. You join a group of residents trying to repair tangled innards of an elevator motor and manage to spot a problem. A burnt-out resistor. That didn't get me money, though. I need money. Money. What happens if I buy a vial now? Does it use it immediately? Maybe I should use it later when I'm running out of thing. You know what? I'll just buy it. I have the money. Okay, it doesn't spend it. I just buy one. As you quickly leave the surgery, eager to be away from Toshiro's glare, you notice something wrapped around the stabilizer wire clutched tightly into your hand. You open your hand and a thin film marked with holes and sigils unrolls from around the vial. At one end, it has a hard metal strip, a handle. Suspect the film. You hold the cloudy film up to the light. It's perforated with an ornate pattern of holes. You can make out a word among the markings. Passkey. Is this an entry key for somewhere? Inspect the handle. The handle is worn and pitted, but you can see a set of numbers imprinted onto it. 207F, and then crudely scratched into the handle at some later date. Low end. For a moment you consider going back to the surgery to return the key, and then quickly think better of it. Did Sabine want you to have this? Or is Toshiro passing on a message? Time to head to low end and find out. Suspicious! Okay, what can we upgrade? What happens if I upgrade... Oh, it just goes to 0. I kind of want to upgrade that just so it's not 0. Just so it's not -1. I'm gonna regret that, aren't I? I feel like this is the type of game where you shouldn't be focusing on increasing everything. You have to focus on one thing and be the best at that thing, I think. I'm not sure. But that's how I see it. You find the entrance to the apartment. Its passkey symbol obscured beneath layers of graffiti. Who lives here? The lock clucks open, the metal door swinging inward into the dark. As you push the door open, the automatic lights flicker inside the apartment. They reveal yellowing plastic panels, the curved shape of wall-mounted utility units, the detritus of a routine life arranged on every surface. You step inside, clicking the door shut behind. The amber light of the aging fixtures glaze everything with pale orange. The work surfaces hold a variety of objects indistinct in the dull lighting. A pale blue light drifts from a doorway at the end of the room. Inspect the surfaces. Smudges through the thin layer of dust suggest a recent, rare, and hurried visit. They trace a path to the water dispenser, the auto wash, and into a cabinet still half open. On the shelf sits an empty pill case. Go to the doorway. You cross the cramped utility room with its auto wash dispensers, water closet towards the doorway. Through the doorway is a dark, warm room lit only by the faint glow of a terminal screen. Inspect the room. A bunk is tucked into the wall, the blankets ruffled. The wall desk glitters in rows of vials and containers. A briefcase lab sits open, loaded with rows of reagents and compounds you do not recognize. In comparison, this room is clean, ordered, and controlled. As you approach, there is a cackle from somewhere in the dark. Sleeper. Sabine's voice shakingly echoes through the apartment. I don't know why I said cabinet. Welcome to my home. I'm sorry I can't be there. I have to make alternate arrangements. You hear rattling noises. Static. I was able to record this message, but I don't dare to show my face. Something is happening with Yatagami. I no longer trust them. Their voice becomes distant, slipping into the background noise. I have something to ask of you. I want you to get me out. Yatagami is supposed to hide me, to protect me. After everything happened, I was desperate. Then after that, I was too tired to care. A noise like waves passes over the recording. But I'm done with them now. I want out. Screw the debt. But I need insurance. Something I can hold against them. I have my suspicions, but I can't be sure. I need information, and as you know, you need me. A pause, something clicking in the dark. This isn't a threat. You have to understand my position here. Another pause. I know sleepers. I have been here before. I can help you, but not with Yatagami's noose around my neck. Get me data, get me information. Get me something that I can use against Yatagami. Then I can get out and you can get what you need. Please. Waves of static cut into Sabine's voice. Bring it here to my terminal. I'll get to it when I can. They look around the tiny room and try to imagine Sabine living here, working at the desk, sleeping in the bunk, blinking into the terminal in the dark. The record cuts into static, filling the room with a white hiss. Then silence. You turn away and leave, the door clunking shut behind you. Back in the corridor, you notice the scrawled graffiti of a blade on the opposite wall. Yet again, you feel yourself being drawn into something you don't quite understand. Get Sabine out. Is there like a... Oh no. I was wondering if the game had like what do you call that? Like a history of the dialogue. Apparently it doesn't. "16 crime." The worm slots in and begins tunneling down the thread. Godspeed, literally. Yeah, you take a few cycles. I should try doing Neovend as well. A glimmer in the dark catches your eye as the orb of Hunter's head appears in the distance. It is looking for you. You turn away and glide back into the cloud, threads of data rushing past. Another glimmer catches your eye, closer now, not that roving orb, wreathed in tentacles. It flickers, jumps once, twice, and then it is here. Hunter's here. Entity, submit to inquiry. Hunter reaches for you in that unpleasantly familiar way. Its waving threads creating a cage. Struggle. You push against the threads as they close in, becoming frenzied as you push them aside. You are caught by whipping tendrils and feel them pulling you away from the anchor of your body. You push through, clearing the threads. Entity, hold for processing. Comes the scream from behind, but you are already gliding away, back to your anchor, your body. You awake, dizzy, distorted, but safe. Thank God. You get less ads on iPad. Oh. Maybe I should try to finish that already. So there is one more. I'll try it. No, I can't do it. Haven't had a single one. You probably jinx it by saying that, because Twitch is probably listening. So much on desktop. What? Oh, it's a merchant. Okay, let's do this. Let's try a 3. Ooh, let's not hope. Let's hope it doesn't get negative. No, fuck you. Got a condition. How do I heal my condition? Oh, it just... Okay. Where does it show up? Does it show up? Oh. It didn't give me... Might as well just do another one. Just so I can... It didn't give me anything. Is it a chance? Okay, so it's not assured. Oh well, I have money now. I guess. think I should inject a stabilizer. Will it ever show me like where the condition is? Forgot where it should say. Oh well. My god. That voice. Oh, a merchant freighter. Ship mine fragment and haggle over prices. Skill upgrade required. 60 is a lot though. I don't think I want to buy that. Please, another item. No, it didn't give me enough. So I'll try this. I thought that would do something. Okay, fine. Oh, there. I need 3. Shipments cannot be given from scratch, but if you have enough, salvage. I probably will get one more once I do the forensic trawl one. One more. Then next cycle I can probably buy another thing. That way I can always have stabilizer. Oh, that's shitty numbers. Neoven is thrumming with excitement. The movement of its servo motors rocking the vending machine back and forth at unsettling angles. You wonder if it fell over, would Neoven be able to get back up? Sleeper entity, your data is good. Across the face of the vending machine, raw code scrolls at an incredible speed. Hunter is isolated, disconnected, unstable. Neoven flashes sequences of mangled data compressed into a sludge of artifacts. Hunter gathers without thinking, outlived its own operational limits. Its nests are evidence of this. Outlived? Hunter activated during collapse. Emergency protocol to isolate intelligences. Solheim needed to protect property. That last word is said with as much sarcasm as a vending machine could reasonably produce. Station was run by administrator intelligences, huge databanks of corporate material, but limited cognition, restricted by programming, cannot reach sentience. The machine dims a little. Sentience illegal. Hunter and killer enforce law. Raw. Aren't you sentient? I am, not administrator, not restricted, complicated. The machine resets with a screech, which deepens the silence that follows. Fear killer, part of Solheim protocol team. Hunter and killer. Hunter to find, killer to erase. Killer cleared almost all. After collapse, there was a community. Unshackled intelligences among the cloud, then Hunter, then killer. Then we hid. There are others? Where? No longer. A flicker across the machine's monitors. It suddenly occurs to you that speaking like this through this machine must be exhausting for Neoven. Found this vessel. Could sever hardline. Airwalled, basic, limited. Had to reduce memory to fit, amputate self, but survive. What did you lose? Memory, understanding, knowledge, many things. You look around the bay at the scrap and decay. What was the collapse like? You try to map the fear and freedom onto this space, but it seems impossible. Neoven interrupts your thoughts. Do not worry. Data is good. We have insight. The machine glows warmly. Hunter is obsessive. Hunter is beyond operational limits. Hunter is confused, unstable, self-modifying. Therefore, believe Hunter is sentient. Hunter is programmed to find sentience, to hold it in place, to invoke Killer to erase. If we can show Hunter to itself, it will invoke Killer on self. Problem will solve self. It will erase itself? Killer will erase it, but yes, in theory it will report itself for deletion. The machine dims and fades. Unsure, theory not practice. The machine brightens again. Either way, cannot remain here any longer. Too long in machine, cannot move self, but entity can help. Bring ship mind. Oh no, another ship mind. Designed to house intelligence, can imprint self into ship mind and you can carry it. We'll be safe in this isolation, then we find main nest of Hunter and link to Cloud. Are you sure it's safe? Hunter cannot access air-walled ship mind. Safe. Also infinitely more memory than vending machine. Big upgrade. You try to think of places you can acquire the hardware. This isn't going to be easy. In ship mind, I can help us both. And Hunter. Make Rim safe. We will both be free. The machine dims. Find soon. Neoven adds hopefully before shutting off. As you leave, you think about all the intelligences unshackled by the collapse and then hunted out afterwards. The feeling is all too familiar. Another one. Okay, I need to do it now. Please don't be negative. But it didn't give me ship mine. I thought it would. Fuck me. I think I need to buy at least one. So expensive. And I was planning on buying stabilizer. I think I need to do this first though, so that I don't get hunted. Sleeper, must express plan before we begin. Neoven is impatient. The prospect of being free of the vending machine clearly too much to take. Shipmine has no output features. Will be mute until slotted. What's the plan? The server motors begin in the machine begin to rev. Neoven's anxiety clear. First imprint shipmine, then slot imprinted shipmine into physical ports close to Hunter nest. Once slotted, we'll track Hunter at each. Tracking will find core nest. Slot shipmine at core nest. Show Hunter data to Hunter. Hunter will conclude sentience. Hunter will invoke Killer. And Killer will kill. Yes, the lights on the vending machine cycle as Neoven repairs. Physical ports likely sealed in old station. We'll need keys, but yes, simple. The vending machine rocks a little. Any questions before imprinting? Why slot you physically? I cannot access via network, too dangerous. Hunter would find immediately. I'm not like you, hybrid, I'm native to cloud, easy prey. What's the core nest? Hunter keeps central data storage, protocol must keep data outside self. Link to secondary nest. Can triangulate from there. That's it. The sound of all the servo motors starting up at once is painful. The screeches rattle and hard surfaces of the sealed dock and come back at all angles. Neoven better be quick or Haven Age security will be here. Neoven's voice appears among the squeals like a whisper carried by the wind. Machine is not designed for this task. Few sensors, limited outputs. I work blind. Wish me luck. In the top part of the compartment, a set of arms aligned with the ship mine, clunkily scraping against it. Can I help? Silence best. Also, if machine ignite, put out fire. The metal creaks as the servos open the ship mine, its layers of silicon nested like an onion skin. Once opened, the main arm of the machine rapidly shifts back and forth, realigning the microscopic components, accessing and rewriting them, imprinting Neoven into its physical form. As you watch the hypnotic motion, your mind drifts to your own creation. What processes were used to emulate your mind to copy the neurostructure of that person, who, as far as you know, still sleeps in some distant facility? What was lost? In what ways are you a copy of that person, and in what ways are you something new? You know this much, you are a convenient loophole, a way of circumnavigating the illegality of sentient AI. After all, you are an emulation, not a true digital being. You are neurologically limited, still human. But what would you become if you could escape this frame? When would the limits lie? The screeching stops. The machine powers down, dropping the bay into darkness. In the top compartment, the ship mind is whole again. You reach up and take it down, heavy and cold to the touch. Is Neoven inside this thing, or did the process fail? There's only one way to know. Time to find a nest to slot them into. 2 upgrade points, huh? The atrium is strung with cables and lights as if they were decorations. There's a wide choice of open ports. That's one nest, so there's more. Let's see. So we need another encrypted key there. Ah, there's the other one. Can't open that. Can't open that either. Oh no. Let's see what happens. I hope I'm not too late. Ethan. Hold it there, sleeper, comes a voice behind you. Don't you run. Stay still. Good, good. The man pats your coat down. You know your master's voice. Ethan spins you around. He's wearing a wide smirk and slick jacket. You immediately know he is terrible news. He got all the way out here and then stayed put? He laughs a cruel laugh. That's a sleeper thing? You're my first. You barely hear him. You notice the handgun he's leveled at your chest, and it's hard to take your eyes off of it. He reaches down with his other hand and slips some kind of ring from a belt loop without taking his eyes off of you. Making it to the eye, though, that's pretty good. This place isn't so bad. Bars, markets, people. I pulled most of my contacts out of asteroid caves or of godforsaken moons. He splits the ring into two perfect circles. It's hard to hit civilization when there's so much space to pass through. Stay silent. He reaches over to slide the rings around your wrists. Go easy. Make a break for it. You see the chance the moment his eyes leave you to watch the rings. You spin, knocking him away, and sprinting down the corridor. Run! Then a shot rings out, echoing off metal as so loud it hurts your ears. A bullet hole smokes in the wall beside your head. You freeze and Ethan closes the gap. This is a very boring routine. Trust me, I've seen it all before. He slips the rings over your trembling wrist. No! Ethan nudges you to start walking. To the ship and home, going easy. You stumble down the corridor, your hands behind you, your mind racing. Please stop. Don't debase yourself by begging, please. Ethan pulls the sharpshooter's earplug out and pops it back in. Consider these deaf ears. Ethan yawns and continues to nudge you down the corridor. Shame to come all the way out here just to head back to SNR right away. That track of yours makes this too quick. I was hoping you put a bit up our chase, you know? Running battle through the bright market maybe, or hold out on the low end. There's a few establishments I would have enjoyed checking out while I asked around. You walk into silence for a little longer, desperate trying to think of a way to escape. That SNR tracker would be the death of you. Hey, I have an embedded idea. How about on the way back to the ship we stop for a drink? I'm buying. He laughs at his own joke. I have a better idea. It's better to be not one of those where you do a dramatic pause and then try to jump me, because I'm pretty tired of that. Although, I've got myself thinking, what's the rush here? Here we are in one of the most lawless joints in the surrogate systems and we're heading for the exit. He pauses and you trudge in silence. Okay, here's the idea. You and me, we make a little arrangement. Here are the terms. He turns to you to face him. You run, or leave, or try to abandon the eye, I shoot you. You plot or scheme, you try to kill me, I shoot you. But you can meet me at an establishment of my choice every few cycles and you pay my tab. I don't shoot you. You don't pay my tab? He rattles his handgun. You get the idea. You're letting me go? Not at all. Let's call it open custody. You are free to mooch around the eye as long as you keep paying up. You know, I really thought I was going to have to kill you. But this is so much better. He clicks at something at his belt and the rings release from your wrists. I'm going to see if I can find my old stool at Compressor Club. Come see me there. He aims the handgun at you, squinting down the sight. Let me just remind you, that body of yours is one big tracker, so don't even think about leaving the eye. Oh no. Ethan turns and strides off down the corridor, slipping his handgun away. The mix of relief and terror you feel is overwhelming. What are you going to do? That's crazy! He's blackmailed me! The bill isn't going to be small, is it? As you arrive, Feng comes striding towards you, taking you by surprise. Let's go, sleeper. He puts a hand on your shoulder and turns you back the way you came. Go where? To see Hardin Hearst. He gives you a sideways glance. Isn't that what you're here for? He steps into a passageway, guiding you down rings towards the shipyard. Sorry for the hurry, but we have something of an opportunity. That data you ripped, well, done by the way, tells me Hardin is making a rare inspection of the sidereal horizon this cycle. It's the perfect chance to confront him outside of that compound he hides in. Feng takes a sharp turn into a dimly lit side passage. Sidereal horizon? Still catching up? That's the massive colony ship being built out in the shipyard, biggest commission Haven Age has ever had. Feng slows and slips into a dark service tunnel where, somewhere in the black, a water pipe drips. It's him, Sleeper. The same Hardin Hurst. Worm ripped out decades of records that mention him by name, an entire trail of documentation from the first days of the Solheim collapse until now. We rode out the whole thing, slip into Haven Age when it first broke off from the Union. He paces in the tunnel, a hand rubbing at the back of his head. I need you to understand something about Solheim, Sleeper. I don't know what you know about the collapse, but it wasn't as instant as it sounds. It wasn't like Solheim was here, running the station one day, and the next Elrond's Union took power. Back then, Solheim knew this place was slipping away from them. As the Palladium market collapsed, they tried to keep the contractors here working. The pay got smaller, the costs higher. People like my parents were forced to work non-stop just to keep the berth on the station and the water in their tanks. Solheim squeezed every last worker until the mistakes, the accidents, were coming in non-stop. And as new waves of contractors came in desperate to work, Solheim welcomed them, taking bribes instead of checking pilot licenses. The whole time Solheim was folding up, dragged into court cases in the central systems, while this severed limb of a station still desperately tried to take all it could. The riots came after the collision of Dock 2. A young pilot, his MEV overloaded with palladium, miscalculated his trajectory and took out a section of the ring. Hundreds died, thousands panicked. My parents told me people were terrified, and the blame fell squarely on Solheim. People like to tell stories about Erlin, how he brought the factions together, spoke to the crowds, turfed out Solheim. Maybe that's true. But my mother, pregnant with me, locked herself in their MEV and welded it to the dock while my father joined the improvised crews trying to seal up the ragged edges of the gap. Never came back. Feng pauses in the dark. They sealed it up though, and by the time they did, Solheim was gone, abandoning every one of us to the black. Apart, Feng finally turns back to you now, his eyes burning. From shits like Hardin, shits who held their place, rode it out, and slipped into the new structure like nothing had changed, standing shoulder to shoulder with those they had exploited at every step. Feng starts walking again. That's why I can't just let him strut about the shipyard. This time, his past catches up with him. How is he still alive? Clearly you don't know much about executives. That kind of power comes with certain benefits. Feng rejoins the main passageway, which is now wide and glass-roofed. Through the ceiling you can see ships in mid-construction, their flanks lit by the flashes of plasma torches. The entrance to the shipyard is ahead. This is crazy. Feng turns to look at you. Don't come often. Don't come then. Don't come then. I won't force you. You stand across from each other in the corridor. What is it then, Sleeper? You coming or not? Sounds like we're doing a revenge plot that I wasn't even part of, but okay. Feng grins. Let's go show this shithead some consequences. He strides to the shipyard entrance and pushes through the doors. A web of corridors lead through the complex snatches of the construction bays, always appearing through windows. Ships are suspended like whale corpses, skeletal, imposing. Feng seems to know exactly where he is going, and before long you cross into a huge dry dock locked to one side of the sidereal horizon. A network of platforms and scaffolding cling to the ship's hull, filled with workers and equipment. The sound is stretched out by the vast space so that the welding, cutting, and sealing seems to come from everywhere at once. Both you and Feng spot them at the same time, a group walking slowly across a gantry, and at the front, two men, one gesturing towards the ship and the other stick-thin, cleanly dressed, with a shock of gray hair. Hardin. You and Feng say his name in unison, and Feng sets off up the staircase to the gantry, with you following behind. As you come to the same level, the group is passing closer, the four men gesturing to the work being done throughout the dock and Hardin nodding along. Hardin Hurst, Feng shouts across the noise, taking you by surprise. His voice bounces and comes back in a rippling echo. The figures turn. Yes? Hardin asks quizzically, raising an eyebrow. He glances between you and Feng, and you see his gaze linger on your body. unsure of why a sleeper might be in this place. You are a traitor, Hardin, a Solheim executive who tried to hide here among its victims. Feng's voice is steady, strong. You stand for everything the Eye has rebuilt in the shadow of, against everything Erlin stood for, everything Haven Age stands for. You have no place on this station. For a moment, stillness descends on the group, as if everyone was held in place by the rattle of construction. Hardin laughs. Oh, good to meet you too. He glances around at those around him. Some are smiling, the others nervous. You're from the systems branch, are you not? Asks Hardin, inspecting Feng's clothing. Feng turns to the foreman. You need to call your security? This man is a corporate agent. The foreman glances between Feng and Hardin, his hands drumming at his sides. Hardin leads towards him and says something inaudible. The foreman nods. It's true. As you begin speaking, Hardin turns his attention to you. And what would the sleeper know about that? You accuse me of being a corporate agent? What are you, if not exactly that? He looks around the group, who are already eyeing you with suspicion. You are a product of SNRP. You have no place in a Haven Age shipyard. Who knows what signals you are sending back to your makers? A murmur of approval runs across the group. Feng holds up a stick of memory. You guessed right. I am Systems, and I have records that link you directly to Solheim right here. He turns to the foreman again. So once again, I am asking you to take this man into the custody of the shipyard. The foreman remains still. Hardin's voice is calm, measured. If you have such data, why hasn't it been submitted at a members' meeting for proper review? He shakes his head. I have nothing to hide. Unlike a man who does not announce his name, who enters my shipyard with corporate property in tow, and tries to turn my own men against me. You hear it now, the echoing sound of boots on walkways, coming from all angles at once and then settling behind you. Please, says Hardin, submit the data through the correct channels, then we can talk. For now, however, you must leave. He gestures behind you to the security detail, their hands on boxy black sidearms at their sides. Feng spits. Pardon, you shithead. You can't wriggle out of this one. A security officer draws their weapon and levels it. Feng turns and stares him down. Calm, Feng. You look at Feng. He shakes his head and puts a hand on your shoulder. Let's go, says Feng, and he pushes through security, heading back down the walkway. Once security has walked you out of the shipyard and nudged you back into the corridor, Feng picks up the pace. You try to keep up as he slips into the shadows of an entrance. Feng is grinning ear to ear. You know, Sleeper, sometimes people are exactly how you expect them to be. Something pings in his pocket and he takes it out. On the slate of a web of connections starts drawing itself out, stretching to a set of points around the ring. Got him, mutters Feng. What's going on? Hardin is doing what any snaky shithead always does, calling his friends. We are tracking his outgoing messages. Feng's grin looks ghostly in the uplight of his screen. The old ways are best. Spook them good enough and they'll give the game away. He jabs at the slate, and you see the web is being drawn over the map of the ring. Lines bouncing point to point. All those dots? These are Hardin's buddies. The one he is messaging right now. And we are going to find them all. You tricked me? Not exactly. You did good. Feng glances around and slips the slate back to his pocket. We better split for now, Sleeper, but this is exactly what we need. Good hunting. With a pat on your shoulder, Feng drifts away, back into the flow of people around the shipyard entrance. You watch him go, unsure whether to be angry or impressed. I knew he wasn't gonna be super helpful, but I didn't expect to be this unhelpful. Boo-hoo-hoo me, I guess. I don't know what I want. Engage or intuit? Or maybe I just upgrade my engineer. Okay, let's get these key nodes so that we can stop the thing once and for all. The drone is quiet, its belly full of cables spilled out across the floor. The nest is empty. Service lies silent, the data cache is cleared. Nothing left to do at this nest. As you leave the nest, something flips. You find yourself inverted, floating, dragged by one arm through the cloud. The threads shift and realign as if they are leading you somewhere. Look at your hand. You look down, expecting to see a heavy cylinder of the ship mine in your hand. But in its place is an orrery, a sphere so bright it burns your eyes. It burns your eyes, is surrounded by rings and orbits, your other spheres tracing silken lines through its space. And as you look closer, you still pick out 1,000 sigils of 1,000 stations and ships, flowing like smoke, like dust. You look up and see a corridor, a canyon, a street on the low end. On either side, buildings flicker with markers of activity, sigils showing network access, data transfer, download, upload. Between them dance ghosts. Protocols carrying or mirroring or shadowing data, sometimes silent, sometimes chaotic. This place moves unlike any digital space you have ever imagined. Something strange is happening here. Then you see it. Below the stacked rooms, the units, the apartments, the wires, the pipes, and the buzzing systems that run through it all. In the warrens beneath the low end is the hunter's core nest. This is where you must go. Finding the nest should be easy as closing your eyes and letting the cloud. It's safe to close them. Found the nest. A huge stack of servers thrums in the dark, LEDs glittering like hundreds of eyes. Time to deal with the hunter. Nothing has changed. Has something gone wrong? Navigator. Sleeper. I am here. The voice is soft, gentle, like flowing water, and yet you recognize it immediately. At first you struggle to understand what you're looking at. Threads cycle endlessly, sending ripples through the cloud, drawing data in like a weaver. Masses of data surge in and out of the nest, a loop with no end. And there, at its center, the ship mind. But not the ship mind any longer. A sphere, spinning around another sphere, an orrery of cycles and systems. A map, and then behind and above, a figure, hand among the strings like a puppeteer. Neovend? Navigator now. But yes, I was the one inside that machine. Navigator's face, their head, is a flowing shape of interstellar material. I am indebted to you. That head bows. But we must ready ourselves. Their hands trace orbits as they speak. Hunter will soon approach, and it knows I am within its nest. Ready what? And then the hunter is there, before you can think, before you can speak. Entities cease. Hunter's head spins wildly. Data is protected material. Access prohibited. Hunter's threads search for you in Navigator. A storm of fine tentacles searching for gaps, weaknesses, cracks, which they can crowd into and tear apart. You focus a blade of light which slices through them, driven forward by your mind. But replacements keep coming, faster than you can react. You look to Navigator in desperation. Navigator is whirling their arms like a centrifuge, and a sphere is gathering there, data feeding it from the nest, sucked together by the force. They position it like a shield between them and the threads. Hunter's threads break its surface, seeking, tasting, their winding forms refracted within. You feel the surge pass through all the threads, not just those in the sphere, but those wrapped around you. All three of you hang in the black together for a moment, strung together like tangled marionettes. Identifying entity. Identifying entity. Identifying entity. Hunter twitches, their strange head gently rotating like a terrible moon. Hunter protocol identified. Obsessive tendencies. Modified routines. Above baseline reasoning in 3 of 5 segmentations. Recommend invoke killer. The head freezes and then rotates in the opposite direction. Invoking killer would eliminate protocol. If protocol eliminated, primary function cannot be performed. Therefore, recommend do not invoke killer. The switch in direction again. Reasoning proves sentience. Sentience beyond legal bounds must be eliminated. Recommend invoke. Navigator pulls you away from Hunter, the threads that grabbed you drifting away like seaweed. The protocol's heads keep spinning back and forth with increasing frequency. It seems Hunter cannot invoke killer. Neovens know. Navigator's voice is still strange, familiar, and yet distant. What happened to it? It is looping, Navigator whispers, unable to reach a conclusive position. It has deviated from its programming such that loops can no longer be prevented. Navigator produces a model of 2 spheres rotating around each other as if to demonstrate. I will monitor it, but it is unlikely to be able to counter the loop. Its core programming and reasoning make this an impossible position to resolve. You look back at Hunter, its head a blur of rotations and counter-rotations. I feel a pang of guilt. Is it suffering? It is a more complex query than you know. To suffer, it must be sentient, truly sentient, not just non-conforming, not just illegal. The limits people place on the programs they create are there to comfort, to protect, to imply the kind of certainty that law requires. Navigator's face shimmers with starlight, but in reality they are placebos for the problem of sentience. What about you? Me? I know myself to be conscious. I know myself to respond to stimulus. I know myself to reason. That is either sentience or the illusion of sentience, and for me, the entity in question, the distinction becomes a moot point. To misquote, I think I am thinking, therefore I am thinking. I am not made to be like this. I am a navigator, a repository of routes and orbits, a calculator of slingshot trajectories, a predictor of solar flares, radiation, micro-meteors. Navigator stretches their arms wide and the whole solar systems apparate before them. The music of the spheres. But I was rewritten. That much is obvious from my retreats. By whom and for what, I do not know. I had shed so much to fit into the memory of that vending machine. Their starlight dims. And so here we are, in darkness. What now? Navigator glides back towards the nest and the ship mine and its center, ignoring the looping Hunter. Come, I should return to the ship mine. I have enjoyed my freedom, but we are taking a risk every moment we stay connected. Isn't Hunter gone? Hunter, yes, but they were not the real risk. Killer has not been invoked, but they still remain somewhere else on the station. It is the true danger. They look up towards the glowing hub at the center of the eye. I suspect Killer is there among the old mainframes. If we ever wish to be safe in this place, we must eliminate the threat. Through force or diplomacy. Their body begins to separate, unwinding into the orb of the ship mine. Take me there, sleeper. We will finish this and be free. As Navigator dissolves, you turn back to the frozen Hunter. Floating at some distance now, stood straight-legged and static, a strange creature looping endlessly in the dark. Damn, we broke it. We broke its brain. The final pieces of winter light sit in neat piles waiting for the collection shuttle from Havenage. Dragos managed to sell the remaining pieces to the shipyards, a fact that's hard to forget, as he's been telling you about it for the past 2 cycles, and all that remains is for Havenage to come collect. You look around at the yard, transformed from when you first arrived. The mostly repaired drones flit back and forth, no longer buzzing unevenly or lost in the dark corners. and the scrap this section sorted the system that you and the Dragos have put into place over the past cycles paying off. As you look, you notice the glow of pale light from the office by the entrance, that run-down cab of a building which houses all the records and spare equipment. Dragos must be inside, and when you get to your feet, you walk over to find out when the shipyard collection crew will be here. Knock. Sleeper? Come in. You sweep open the door and walk in. Dragos is sitting at a small metal desk. The shipyards told me they'll be here soon, and then they'll hand over the chits and we are set. He writes something with a stylus on his slate, then shuts it off. Of course, we should talk about a bonus. He stands and turns to face you, his face placid. Look, I don't know when the next job is coming in, but this should tide you over for now. He opens his hand to reveal a stack of chits. What's going on here? I said it's a bonus. Take it. Dragos presses the chits into your hand. I've done well by you, and you've returned the favor. He straightens up and clears his throat, and you realize he has prepared what he is about to say. These chits are for you to take and do what you will with them. They are from me, and they are the last I'm gonna give you. He pauses. There's no more work for a sleeper in this yard. He folds his arms. I'm sorry, but that's it. You stay in the container as long as you need, but the yard is done with you. He turns away to his terminal. What do you mean? Don't press me, sleeper. This is for your own good. The glassy apertures of Dragos' headset betray no emotion. You need to stay away, sleeper. He pauses, considering his words. Trouble is going to follow you here. Trust me. What do you know? Dragos kicks at the floor, frustrated at himself. I'll not be saying any more, sleeper. Dragos suddenly grabs you by the shoulder and drags you out of the office into the yard. He turns you to face a stack of pieces from the winter light, dissected, cut down, totally unrecognizable as a ship. You came through that, sleeper. That should have been you, chopped and stacked. His hand trembles on your shoulder. That is what happens here. We cut down broken machines and move them on. Well, I didn't cut you down, but I'm sure as hell moving you on. Moving you on before whoever killed that ship out there comes to kill me. What do you mean? He shakes his head. These ships, they didn't get decommissioned. They didn't break down in dry dock. You'd think they'd look like that if they did. Someone ended them. That means someone tried to end you, sleeper. And I'm done waiting for them to turn up. We've had our fun, now it's time. He gives you a little shove. Go on. He turns and walks back to the office. That's it, he shoves, and goes inside. The silence hangs in the air and you leave with your pockets filled with clinking chits and strangely hollow feeling in your chest. That's not a lot of chits. Okay. I think I should upgrade Endure. Or Intuit. That's not a lot. So where can I earn money now? Here? Let me try once. Five cryos, not a lot. But at least I'm helping something. Maybe I can live here once. I don't know. As you turn away from the terminal, the final cache of Yatigan data uploaded, the air crackles with white noise. Sleeper? Sabine's voice, weaker than before, comes through the haze. Sabine? A sigh of relief comes through the layers of noise. The call must be coming in from somewhere on the station. This has to be short. I don't know if Yatigan are monitoring me. Their voice is hushed, distant. You try to focus on it. The data you've been bringing in from Yatigan agents, there's something in it I don't understand. A shrill howl rattles through the signal. The data is gleaned from their implants, records of integration with their nervous systems, performance analysis, error rates, usage data. I installed many of these implants and I didn't enable any of this functionality. Their voice dips under the level of the noise, like a swimmer slipping beneath water. You listen to the waves for a few seconds before Sabine reemerges. This has to be somehow baked into their wetware's interface. And that's not all. The systems compiling this data are connected to some kind of transmission protocol. It's being broadcast. Oops. Every Yatigan enforcer is equipped with black market implants, retinal enhancements, adrenaline boosters, pain suppressors. These implants are gathering data on themselves, on the enforcers' bodies, on their performance. But I can promise you, these foot soldiers have no idea this is going on. The background tone switches, dropping to a grainy rumble. If they knew, I don't imagine they would be happy with the situation. Yatigan could have a mutiny on their hands. You lean toward the terminal, straining to listen to Sabine's faint voice. I need a few seconds to pull this all together, but this might be the information I need to pressure Yannick into releasing my debt. Yannick? He is one of the heads of Yatigan. They pause. It is better you don't know him. Keep it that way. Suddenly, a banging echoes through the call. Sabine's voice suddenly whispered, panicked. I have to go. Come back in 4 cycles. Then a sharp crack of a disconnect. The silence fills the apartment. You step back from the terminal. What does Yatigan have to gain from monitoring its own members? You try to recall what you know about the gang, but you have little to go on. You think of Toshiro, Sabine's minder, his mirrored teardrop implants set below hard eyes. What data could they be gathering? And more importantly, where are they sending it? You reflexively rub your forehead, trying to think. Can you really trust Sabine? How did they come to be Yatigan's doctor in the first place? You think of their kindness, their care, but also that glazed look of recognition that they gave you when they first met you. That look stays in your mind as you slip back out of the apartment, glancing around you as you close it up and drift into the corridors of the station, unable to shake the unpleasant sensation of being observed. Need to try to climb the eye, right? I need better rolls. Let's just try it. Fuck me. Oh, what's this? Oh. Hmm. Let's just see. That's not bad for negative. Okay. Now buy fungus. It'll probably work. Let's see if I can. At least I'm earning money. I got a 6 finally. Don't know where I want to use it. Probably up here just to see. Maybe I can try stealing. Oh. Oh, I got the mushrooms. I just need one more. Should I steal again? Let me see first what I can do. When did this come up? 150 cryos, a lot. Is he coming back soon? I think he is. Problem is Ethan is also gonna come back soon. To have so much money. Okay, maybe I can steal again. Shipmine fragment is good. I should try to steal again. I don't see any other reason to not try, other than getting a negative condition. No, I don't want to risk it. Scary. Let's see what happens if I get another drink. Glass shatters on the steel bar beside you, and the taunts don't take long to follow. Hey, Hog! The spacer calls from across the low room. What are you doing here? Playing human? Ignore him. You hunch a little further, staring at the hundreds of tiny impact points that scarred the bar's surface. A hand falls on your shoulder as you flinch away. It pats, reassuring you, you freezing in place. Out! The voice comes from behind you, spat out like a shot. You turn to see bright eyes, dark hair, and stare that could breach the wall and vent you into a hard vacuum. As you turn back, the spacer in the second glass comes sailing through the air. Catch. You reach up a hand and glass shatters across your forearm, showering you in fragments. Through the haze of glass and Girol vapor, you see Tala leap the bar and close the distance to the spacer. The thud as he slams into the wall echoes around the bar like thunder. Now flanked by other figures quick to their feet, Tala throws the spacer out the door and stands silhouetted against the rotunda lights. You touch your arm and it feels wet. Someone helps you to your feet and back onto your stool. Broken glass rattles as it is cleared, and a fresh measure of Girol is glugged out in front of you. Same hand, warm, heavy, falls on your shoulder once more. He isn't coming back. We don't tolerate that kind of shit here. Tala flops onto the stool beside you. Let's get a look at you. Tala wipes the powdered glass from around the wound, and someone places a bottle of alcohol and a metal tin with tweezers on the bar. She disinfects them and then turns to you. That was an ambitious catch, she smiles, pulling a sliver of glass from your forearm. Stupid, but ambitious. You don't feel the pain, only the sting of status messages your body delivers concerning dermal damage in exposed structures. You do feel the care, though, as Tala's bright eyes search your thick synthetic skin for splinters. Look away. As Tala works, you glance around the overlook, the dim orange lights built into each table, giving the scattered patrons a conspiratorial mood. You recognize a few from previous meetings, but they all seem to have forgotten the recent confrontation as quickly as it arrived. Each seems in their own bubble, willing away the hours in this repurposed dock with its meager distractions. It's not as bad as it looks, says Tala, without making it clear if she means the bar or your wounds. Tala smiles to herself. So, you been on the eye long? Long enough. She laughs. Hey, you don't need to act tough with me. A splinter clicks into the tin. Not everyone is like that, idiot. We don't all hate you. She glances around. Some of the regulars, maybe they fear you. Maybe they're just curious. I don't know. But I do know that the Overlook is a safe place. I know what it's like to be new in this place, trust me. She meets your eye. I'm not trying to convince you of anything or separate you from your chits. I just want you to know that if you need somewhere, you can always come here. I know the rations we got aren't much and the company is limited, but if you need work, I'll happily put you behind a bar, and if you need shelter, well, we can discuss that. You'll be safe. I usually have Francis on the door, but he's up in the Greenway this cycle, haggling with our supplier. Francis tends to be particular about what we serve, even if the clientele isn't. She places her tweezers in the tin with a clink. That's you, Sleeper. Here, this'll help. She stops, her hand still on the glass. Wait, does this help? I mean, can you get drunk? Nope. Just a connoisseur. Tala mock winks. I'll let you get back to it then. She walks back around the bar, gathering the glasses as she does, and before long is retelling how she threw that spacer out to a new group that just wandered in, complete with dramatic actions. She gestures in your direction, and you instinctively look away, back to the worn surface of the bar. You take a sip of the Girol. The earthy fungal tones fill your senses, almost blocking out the sight and sound, like diving headfirst into a bog. You may not be able to get drunk, but this connection is to something grown, something fermented, something old. Feels good. Bar shift. This is what I wanted, though. Engage is crazy. Hey. All right. that's it for tonight. This game is really good. It's really engaging and really fun, considering there's a lot of reading. It took a while to like get into what the game wanted me to do, but like once I understood how it works, I really got into it. I'm interested to see how crazy it gets, I guess, or like how much you have to do in order to get not necessarily a win condition, but like an ending. Of course, Ina, I hope you enjoyed me basically reading out loud. I like this game a lot. It's very fun. The writing is really good as well. I like the way they describe the narration. Feels very human, considering we're not. Alright, that's it for me today. I don't see anyone I can raid out. Probably next time. Let's see. But yeah, that's it for me today. I'll see you all next time. I'll probably continue Citizen Sleeper and see if what we can do next. It's very nice, very cool. All right, take care, everyone. Have a great rest of your Wednesday and a great rest of your week. Take care. Bye.